Good day, good day, good day, good day. Um, Usually these run about like 30 minutes. Probably it might run a little bit shorter today. We'll see. Maybe 20. Dude, I was up late last night. It was one of those things, man, where you just don't want to get out of bed. But let me clear my throat. um, It's just one of those things where you're really tired, but when you're older, your body doesn't like to stay in bed as long as it did when you were young and elastic. When your body was just I don't even bouncy, rubbery, just loose, and you could sleep for long periods of time. No, nowadays, I'm telling you, at 42 even, I don't even want to know what it's like at 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. I think that's why when you get older, old folks, if they aren't getting, well, I was going to say blackout drunk, but I still think they get up pretty early. Because I worked years ago with this dude, Bill, and I mean, he was up at 4 a.m. and he drank a ton. So I would like to say that for some reason I was thinking that drinking all the time would make you be able to sleep in, but we all know that alcohol makes sleep worse. But anyways, yeah, when you get older, they just wake up at 4 a.m. and they're just ready because your body doesn't want to lay down. It just starts to hurt and ache. So even though I was really tired, if I had the ability to sleep in any longer, I would not have done it because it was just, you get uncomfortable. But last night went and saw Jason Aldean, and I gotta say, man, puts on a hell of a show. I think yesterday or the day before I was talking about, it was probably yesterday, how many fiddles I was going to expect because, when I went and saw Cody Johnson, 3 bands, 3 fiddles. This time, we didn't get there for the opening act this time. We played it out and caught the tail end of Nate Smith's act and what we saw of his show. It was good, but he had no fiddle. Jason Aldean, 0 fiddles. The dude does not fiddle around. It was just rock and roll. He had a great set. The set was awesome. He had a lot of screens. His song about a great big green tractor, because when you're a country singer, like, you have to have a song about a tractor. That is a necessity. Even early on in Kenny Chesney's career, she thinks my tractor's sexy. He wouldn't do it now. Now he's all about Barefoot Nation. Now he's on the sandy beaches, those white sand beaches, and you can't have it. What is a tractor going to do on a white sand beach? Nothing. But I'm sure he still sings it at his shows, and I will find out soon one day, because that is the dude that I want to see, the country dude that I want to see the most. But yeah, Jason Aldean, no fiddles, so he has a lot of screens is the best way to describe it. And when he was singing about "I want to take you a ride on my big green tractor," all of a sudden, they disappeared, lights go down, and they're on a giant platform, screen in front. They're on a giant green tractor, and it was pretty sweet, dude. When he took the stage, you should have seen the stance he was making. Like, they were on the platform, and then there was the screen in front of him, and it lifted up. I don't even know, without visually showing you the stance, I don't know how to do it. Like, he was basically leaning, doing like a side lunge all the way on one leg with the other leg completely straight. And he was just like, these legs are flexible, and I'm here to rock it with these very movable hamstrings. And it was great. And then later on, his bassist did that too. Like they played "Burning It Down." "Burning It Down" is, it's kind of like a romantic sex song. Now, it talks about people being naked in bed and stuff. That's the kind of song it is, just burning it down. And what I just found absolutely hilarious, like where we were sitting, there was this old lady sitting next to me. She had to be like late 60s, maybe even 70, I don't know. And at one point, I was a little too close to her, and she was like, "Can you move over?" She was sitting down like the entire time, and she was like, "Hello, excuse me, move over." And I absolutely moved over for her. And so she was sitting the whole time. When "Burning It Down" came on, she popped up. She popped up for that song. Just remembering her youth, just full of lust. And she got really, really into it. And I gave her space. I absolutely did. And that, I don't even know what, like that, I just digress. I had a thought before that, but that took the cake right there. A lot of people, trying to meet people. There was this, towards the end of the show, there was like sitting behind us and a little to our right was like a family. And the dad was a big dude. Like, he was a big guy. He had on a legit Western shirt. He had a cowboy hat on. He was probably, he looked like a rancher. Like, he looked like a dude that at one point rode some bulls, all right? He looked like a badass. Or just like, you just knew that, like, if you were to fight this man, like, pain really doesn't affect his body. That's the vibes that he gave off. Well, dude, towards the end, like the last couple songs left, all of a sudden this guy from our left just comes like flying over a bunch of chairs, like scoots past the people next to us, like falls into the stair aisle, and then starts talking to this dude's daughter. And, she was older, like she was definitely like in her 30s, and, this guy too, maybe closer to her, maybe 30, whatever, him maybe closer to 40, I don't know. And that's when that her dad was, they had some family members in between them, but he was just doing the sideways high, and like that was the first time I saw him lean forward or show any sort of movement. And he handled it well. And then at the end of the show, that guy stopped harassing that girl and left. Whether she enjoyed the harassment or not, no one's to say. She probably liked the attention. What lady doesn't? You tell me. But I thought that was an I was like, oh, man. Maybe if like the guy that was talking to the girl, it was polite enough. You could tell he was just hammered, just ham-boned, just thrashed. But there could have been some sort of scuffle. And I was all for it. I wanted to see. I was going to be like, all right, let's see what this cowboy can do. You won't believe it either, dude. Carrie Underwood showed up again. She did. She showed up again on the screen. Now, if you heard the show from the beginning of the week, or the other day, I have no idea when, I was talking about how Cody Johnson had a duet with Carrie Underwood. She appeared, huge lips, ginormous, just filled to the brim with whatever they put in lips. Fillers, dude. Like a fish, like just a wild thing. Well, she showed up. Dude, Jason Aldean has a duet with her. And he starts playing a piano, and then she appears on the screen. But she's not like, at Cody Johnson, she was like, it was basically from the neck up, like close-up shot. This, she was from far away and like, I don't know, like changed positions on the screen and stuff like that, from center to left to right and all that. But there she was. I was like, it's the lips. Can't escape it. But dude, man, she can sing. Man, her virtual reality self can sing. Hell of a voice on those lips. Let me tell ya. So overall, man, yeah, no fiddles, awesome show, cool rock and roll, good time, man, good time. And I am tired because yesterday we went to the pumpkin patch. My sister was in town. It was raining. It was so humid, dude. 99% humidity. Can someone stop spraying these chemtrails, please? These chemtrails are out of control. Skyrocketing the humidity. It's 99% off the Richter scale. I don't even think it's supposed to get that high. Dude, we were so wet and damp, and I made the right decision, dude. I wore some like loose cargo pants because I'm like, I'm not going to wear jeans, no denim, no way. Because dude, in the humidity with wet denim, freaking you're having a nightmare, dude. You might as well bring an entire drum of baby powder and just coat your legs with them or something. But then my sister and my wife, I mean, God bless them, but they wore denim. And at one point they were just at two different times, they were just like, I hate this denim. Like I'm going to die. They both voiced that opinion. And I was like, I got these loose cargos and I'm still just not liking it. My legs were so wet. It was just raining, the humidity, but it started cooling down, rain harder, and it was a good time, man. I don't know if I've ever been, and it was just a straight down rain because there was no wind, and we had umbrellas. Very important, dude. I love an umbrella. You're talking like I wish that it rained every day at some point for just a few hours, several hours. So I had a legitimate reason to carry an umbrella with me everywhere I go. You can use it as a cane. You know how much fun it is? And then when you're walking outside, you push the button and it pops up. So satisfying. It's so good. So much fun. And then it's just your personal awning that follows you wherever you go and hovers over your head and lets you be in the elements and stay dry. Big fan of umbrellas. If we could just have some rain and some fog at all times, because that's another thing, man. When you have an umbrella, you want to walk through some fog at some period of time. Like walking through the fog in the rain, it's a very important mix, very important part of the whole experience, and it's just a shame. It's just because usually, like, why do I have an umbrella? I'm going from my car into a building at some point. Like, this isn't New York City. This ain't Chicago. This isn't somewhere where you're, walking city blocks. I don't live there. I don't live like that. But this gave me a reason to have an umbrella all day long. And it was so satisfying and so much fun. And, I don't know. I gotta find some stuff to do. Like when it rains, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go downtown Omaha in the old market just for the sole purpose of being able to walk around with my umbrella. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, the pumpkin patch was, it was awesome. It was a good time, man. Great. Like top 10 day out of the 365 days. Top 10 day. It was a good time. What was wild is, like after or at the pumpkin patch or just around or on the way or something like that, my son asked me like the best concert I've ever been to, and I'm like, hands down, like Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers. And I believe like the year 2000. It was. Or it was 1999. 1999 or 2000. My buddy says 1999. All right, dude, this show. So I'm telling him, I'm like, yeah, this show was awesome. Foo Fighters opened up. Red Hot Chili Peppers, sweet. I'm like, in between the Foo Fighters get done, they do the stage breakdown, build it up. It's pitch black. It's the Civic Auditorium. That place doesn't even exist in Omaha anymore. And everything is general admission. There are no assigned seating anywhere. Like, you can go wherever you want in this venue. And it was pandemonium, and it was incredible. It was a free-for-all. And it's pitch black, and all of a sudden you just hear doom, 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 all around the world we can make time, rapping in the stomach because I'm in my prime. It was incredible. So I tell my son and wife this, and 2 hours later, a friend of mine, my childhood friend, who is on the other side of the world, on a little island called Indonesia, he sends me a voice memo talking about that concert. He just goes into it. He's like, I just often have this thought, I'm at JCPenney's. I'm buying a ticket to the Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers at Ticketmaster at the JCPenney's for $30.50. I'm riding in Jeremy Klein's car, who's a friend of ours. We're headed to the Civic, like, going on this whole thing. And I'm like, this is insane, dude. We had no prior. How do I literally am talking about this concert, telling my family about it. 2 hours later, out of the blue, with no pre-context, me and my buddy weren't talking about this. We haven't talked about this concert. I don't even know. Decades. It would have had to have been probably since we were in our 20s. We haven't talked about this concert with one another. And he sends it to me out of the blue, saying how it's one of his greatest memories. That is wild to me. Is that wild? Am I crazy? Am I on a crazy train? I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's definitely cool. But I just don't even know. Like, how do I even express my feelings about that? Because it's you get it, right? I hope you get it. Dude, this show is progressively going to get better. Mark my words. I'm going to add video. I am going to add music. I am going to add graphics. This is going to be an exciting show. This is just the beginning. Like, this is just the muscle memory of doing this show. This is the right now I'm creating the habit of doing this every day, showing up, hitting record, and talking into the mic, regardless if it's going to be for 30 minutes or 20 minutes or this or that, or if I'm driving a car. Like, I'm going to get it done because I'm getting used to, like, I had a radio show where I was on the air every day for almost 2 years, okay? I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Like, you have to start somewhere. This is the progression. It went from, starting out just driving and doing it to being able to do it in a quiet space, all over the place. If some of you, if you knew where some of the locations where I recorded this, you would think that it was ridiculous. So this is just, you got to start somewhere, man. It's like working out. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, you like, when you start working out, like, if you're horribly out of shape, like, you got to go to the gym. You just got to get on that treadmill for 10 minutes. You got to make that effort. You got to do that. And you can, like, anyone can do it. You just don't go into it. Like, we were watching King of Queens for a second last night. The episode, Fatty McButterpants. I chose that one because that is that name alone made me laugh so loud. So Dave's like, or Kevin James, his wife buys him a shirt at the Big and Tall store, and then he sees the bag and he's like horrified. So he's going to go to the gym and get in shape. And when he goes there, he just goes like all out, hits all the machines. He's running on the treadmill. He's doing squats. Like he just goes in it like so hard, so fast after just not even ever working out. And then he can't move his body and he's super sore. Like that's not how you do it. You got to start small in anything that you take on, in anything that you do. You have to ease into it and build it up. It's just like the training program through the Nike Run Club app, all right? Awesome program, dude. They start you off slow. You're running in like 15 minutes. You're running a mile. You're building it up. You're creating that muscle memory. You're creating that habit. You got to just keep hitting play on the app, keep getting your runs in. Even when you feel like shit. Like if you want to do something, if you want to make a change, if you want to create new, better habits, all right, you have to do it even when you're tired, even when you feel like trash. You just got to do it. Even if like there were days when I had to run and I wasn't able to do the full thing. Okay? Or I was able to do the full thing, say this, but not to as good as I could do it, running a lot slower, like having to walk. All right. Like a lot of times at the beginning of the training program, I got to run 4 miles. Dude, I had to stop and walk. All right. At like 2 miles and then pick it back up. Like you have to do that. And you just got to tell yourself it's okay. And then you have to be okay with it. And that's it. That's my pep talk to you. That's me building you up right now. So if there's something that you want to do, if there's something that you want to accomplish, and it's like, I don't even know where to start, I don't know how to do it, and you see yourself at the point where you fully accomplished it, you're fully in shape, you fully attained the goal that you've wanted to attain, but you don't know how to get into it, dude, you just, right there, this day, say it's running and getting in shape. Go walk for 15 minutes. The next day, run for 15 minutes and build it up, dude. Days go by so fast. All of a sudden, it was like I started this running program on June 1st. All of a sudden, I'm done with it. And I've got like 70 runs logged. Because time don't stop moving. You know this. You know this, son. And that's what I got for today. So have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the weather. Start something that you've been wanting to accomplish, but you haven't started it yet. You can do it. And I will be back on Monday. This is the Austin Anderson Show. I thank you.